Ubisoft's brand new first-person shooter XDefiant is here. XDefiant is an arena FPS with a twist. There are numerous factions from other Ubisoft games as characters, all of whom have their own special abilities and playstyles. At launch, we have the Cleaners from The Division, DedSec from Watch Dogs, Echelon from Splinter Cell, Libertad from Far Cry 6, and Phantoms from Ghost Recon, with more factions with new abilities from other games being added in over time with the season system. There is a lot to praise in this big project from Ubisoft, and also some criticisms. So we're going to work our way through the maps, the game modes, the weapons, the factions, the in-game purchases, and of course, most importantly, the gameplay. Let's start off with the least important but still relevant item store. Ubisoft have followed the generic post-Fortnite formula here in a seasonal battle pass, and also there's a rotating item shop that you can spend money in. However, they haven't made any of the changes we've seen other developers make, which is a problem. The battle pass system appears to be a once it's gone system, which is just a tool to try and trap players into not playing anything else so that they don't feel they've wasted their money. Add to that the fact that this first battle pass seems flat and boring, with 8 XP boosters, 7 100 coin drops for gamers to recoup their investment, 4 emoji packs, and 5 player card or animation slots. That leaves only 26 of the 24 battle pass levels for skins, and then this has to be spread around 15 different characters and 25 guns, and some weapons and characters get multiple skins while others get none, such as the ACR getting 2 skins, as well as the Vector getting 2 skins, and Jing, one of DedSec's characters, getting multiple skins. So far, I don't think there's been a fair amount of thought or effort put into these cosmetics, and for these prices and with the expectation that players will spend money in a free-to-play game, I don't think that's fair. And when you add in the fact that they are expected to add more weapons and characters, I fear the battle pass may simply be bad value for most, if not all, people. Now for some of the truly more important things. The maps. Maps have become somewhat of a weak point in FPS games over the last 5 years, never seeming to flow as nicely as the games of the noughties and the 2010s. However, I think overall XDefiant has put its best foot forward, especially with the maps for game modes like Zone Control and Escort. The maps feel meaningfully thought out with different styles to once again show off the numerous IPs at work, giving the game its own unique and ever-changing feeling. As with all gamers, I have maps I like and maps I don't like. For instance, some of my personal favourites are Times Square and Zoo, which you can play in Escort and Zone Control, whereas in Occupy, I enjoy the carnage of Arena or the more tactical and thought out games that you'll play on Liberty. On the flip side, if I never play Noodleplex Domination again, it will be too soon. Game modes. At launch, we have 5 game modes: Zone Control, Escort, Domination, Occupy, and Hotshot. I think these game modes were chosen very specifically to give every kind of player what they want. My personal favourite while playing solo has definitely been Zone Control and Escort, as it feels less crucial to have team communication for success, and if you make an insane solo play, because of the way the game flows, it will basically always result in your team being rewarded for it. When playing as a squad, I find Zone Control and Escort remain fun, but it can be a lot easier to win, dominantly even, because of the additional communication. But Domination and Occupy become a lot more fun to play with friends. The map doesn't change as the game progresses, you can talk if you need to, but there is no 100% need for it, making it much more fun if you have at least one friend playing with you. Personally, I'm not a fan of Hotshot. This is a shame, because while playing games like Call of Duty, Kill Confirmed is my preferred game mode while playing solo. However, the addition of player speed and other buffs when the Hotshot aren't for me, so I don't see myself playing much of Hotshot in the foreseeable. With rumours circulating of the addition of modes like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag and more, however, I am confident the XDefiant team will find a way to appeal to everyone's preferred game modes. The weapons. Balancing guns in modern games is a thankless task, this much is certain. And I do think overall so far XDefiant have done a great job making every gun feel viable and fun to use, especially once you've got comfortable with it. However, there is a huge issue. I am a terrible first-person shooter sniper. I can admit that. In fact, I accept and own that fact, and I find ways around it by using different guns. I was not made to be a sniper in arcade shooters. However, in XDefiant, I can consistently go positive with snipers without having to think. Currently, the snipers are just too powerful. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe they ADS too fast, maybe they do too much damage, but I promise you, the aim assist has got to be worked on. Aim assist on snipers, as strong as it currently is, makes the gun too powerful in normal hands and makes people who were good with snipers in previous FPSs damn near unstoppable, and more importantly impossible to counter due to the time to kill of a sniper being one shot. However, other than that, most things seem well balanced. The MP7 and P90 are standing out as more powerful SMGs, with the ACR, AK-47 and M16 being the most commonly chosen ARs in games I've played. However, the MP5 and the M4 are definitely still completely usable, despite not being necessarily the most powerful in their class. The factions. We'll discuss the factions in the order of time I've spent playing them. The Phantoms. Phantoms are closest to what would traditionally be known as a tank. They have more health than the other factions, and their abilities allow them to throw down a shield wall to use as cover, or use a blitz shield to be a mobile battering ram. I don't particularly notice the additional health when playing as a Phantom, but I do notice it when fighting against a Phantom as any other faction. They're a very cool character for tank or support duties. I find them a lot of fun to play, and their ultimate ability really does give you lots of options for attacking the objective. DedSec. I love Watch Dogs, so I was very excited to learn of DedSec's appearance in XDefiant, and I am praying for an Aiden Pierce skin to come into the game. As someone who's watched or played the game, you will know DedSec is frustrating to play against. From the spider drone that stuns you and blocks you, to the hijacking of your shield if you're playing as a Phantom, exposing you to enemy fire. They're an incredibly well-rounded faction that allows the users to act in a very nice support role with the ability to make more grenades, stun enemies, and with their ultimate they can just shut down the opposition's abilities altogether. Echelon. The super spies, the assassins, these characters are incredibly useful. When running the digital ghillie suit, users can disappear from enemy vision to get behind enemy lines and strike, or they can use the intel suit to reveal enemy locations for yourself and your enemy team. This can be beyond helpful. And then with their ultimate ability, revealing everyone on the map to them and giving them a one-shot pistol, they can decimate a team single-handedly. The Cleaners. At this point, being firebombed off of the objective is a rite of passage for an XDefiant gamer. The Cleaners are very different, as I don't see them having a set role, but instead they exist to be as versatile as the user can make them. You can play objective and use the firebomb as an entry or protective method. You can play support using the incinerator drone to slow down enemies and use the passive fire damage to weaken enemies further after giving teammates easier fights or forcing the enemies to stop and regain health. Libertad. The healer. Every character-based shooter needs a healer, and this is one that certainly doesn't disappoint. Either focusing on self or individual healing, or zone healing. However you want to play, you can heal the same way. If you're on the move, you can heal friendlies as you go, or you can hunker down and create a healing zone for your teammates to return to if need be. The gameplay. And finally, the most important aspect, the gameplay. Regardless of balancing, characters, cosmetics, and even content, without solid gameplay, the former means nothing. XDefiant's gameplay is solid. And I truly mean that in the best sense. It hasn't changed the world with some redefining of the FPS genre, but it is a solid, reliable base that feels consistent. Movement is a touch on the slow side, for sure. So people who are currently abusing some temporarily broken mechanics are sometimes incredibly difficult to hit due to the moving in a way that doesn't really make any sense. The gun mechanics work and make sense. Recoil exists without being so vastly visually jarring that it puts you off your shot. And they've toned down aim assist to allow more talented players to show off their talent rather than rolling the dice. However, there are also some issues with the game. The server netcode is not good enough right now. Every single person who's played more than about 5 hours has been shot and died round a corner. They have addressed this and are working on it, but it won't be a quick fix, and this does concern me about damaging the enjoyment of the game while we wait for this to be resolved. But my biggest pet peeve is how often, when solo queuing mainly, but it can and does happen when you're in a large party as well, you get loaded into a game that is well over 50% complete. And the game doesn't appear to offer loss protection to your stats. This is one thing in public lobbies where I think it just needs to be tweaked so players don't load into a game that's going to be over in 5 seconds. But this is also happening in the ranked playlist as well. And this simply cannot ever happen. Loading into an ongoing ranked game is not a fun experience and shouldn't happen. If someone leaves a ranked game, there should be a punishment for that player, and if the game is still early enough in, the game should end with no rating changes for either side. Conclusion. Overall, I'm about 35 to 40 hours into my XDefiant journey at the time of recording, and I'm loving it. A refreshing take on a genre of game I love, and it's even allowing friends to play together in casual games without skill-based matchmaking ruining one friend's fun if they aren't as good. Overall, I'd give XDefiant so far a 77 out of 100. And if they can fix the snipers and netcode issues, it'll be racing towards the mid-80s. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.